Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Friday Facebook Live. I'm going to do a quick, short and sharp one today. Each week I do some kind of Facebook Live on some kind of topic. And if you're thinking I'm looking at two different cameras, I am, because I'm actually live on Facebook today and Instagram. And you know I don't like going live and Instagram. I just don't understand how it's all going, but I can see lots of people hopping on, so it's lovely to see you. So let me know where you're watching from. You know, I always love to know where you're watching from and what time it is. Or if you've got any questions, ask me below and I'll see if I can answer as many as I can for you. Today, we're just going to be going through the top 3 mistakes you make when starting low carb or keto and how to fix them. And I always like to do top 3 mistakes of anything. Like another week I did it about coconut flour, another week I did it about, say, almond flour, or using sweeteners or snacking. I like to cover lots of different topics, so let me know who's watching here today. So the first one is, and let me know, what are you? Are you low carb? Are you keto? Are you carnivore? How many carbs a day do you have? Do you track? Do you not track? I'd love to know what you guys are having. Lots of people from California and Noon. So this is Instagram I'm looking at, not on Facebook now. And from Toronto. Looks like somebody's from, looks like maybe Russia or somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't understand that language that's coming through. It's 3:05. And Staten Island, New York. Thank you. Oh, it's lovely to have you here as well. Australia. Keto-ish, lol. Keto-ish. I love that. I love that. Right, so let's get cracking. So the top 3 mistakes that you're making when you're starting low carb or keto. So the very, very first mistake I would say most people make just at the beginning is that they're not tracking. And tracking is boring and tracking is dull, but my goodness, it works. If you don't track, you don't know where your carbs are coming from, especially at the beginning, because if you don't track, you also won't know maybe where you're falling over. So say, for example, if I didn't track, I wouldn't have known how bad my coffee was. I don't have sugary coffee, but I used to have a milky coffee, so either a latte or a cappuccino or a flat white, and the volume of milk in there. And this, I did another whole live on this a few weeks ago, but the volume of milk in there normally makes a milky coffee around about anywhere between sort of 15 and 30 grams of carbs, depending on how large. Because even though it's only 4 grams of carbs per 100 ml, because a milky coffee contains, maybe sometimes 1 or 2 cups, you can see how the carbs soon add up. So that's the first thing that I would say, is you've got to track. And I know it's boring and I know it's dull, but unless you track, you won't understand where your carbs are coming from, maybe how you can order your coffee better. I've got a whole infographic about how many carbs are in a long black, how many are in an Americano or a flat white or a cappuccino or a chai latte. I've got a whole infographic there. It's all on the website there for you. So go to ditchthecarbs.com and go and have a look at that. And if also you might think to yourself, if your blood sugars aren't going stable, what is affecting you? And I know some people in Ditch the Carbs Pro, so that's the 4-week course that's now open again. So you come and join us. It'd be great to see you and get ready before Christmas hits. In there, I know there was one particular member and she couldn't understand why her blood sugars were still all over the place. And when I looked at what she was having and when she was tracking, it was her green beans. So green beans might be fine for you, but for her, that was her trigger and that's what sent her blood sugar skyrocketing. And unless she'd tracked or unless she'd shown me, I would never have known, well, actually, let's try and stopping that for a wee while and let's see how your blood sugars react. And boom, they suddenly started to, stabilize and flatten out again. So that's why tracking is good, and learning how to read food labels. That will be another one, is that depending on which country of origin your food is coming from will depend on whether it shows net or total carbs. So that's the top mistake, is not tracking. And whether you do it, whether you want an app on your phone, whether you want a printable sheet, I've got PDF printers. If you go up to my low carb shop, there's a food tracker there. If you just want it on pen and paper, that's absolutely great. Other people don't even do that. They literally just take a photo with their phone. So it's a visual reminder at the end of the day how much food they've had, how many snacks they've had, every drink they have, every snack they have. Boom, they go along and take it. So I can see lots of people hopping on. We've only done top mistake number 1, and we're going to go into 2 more now. So let me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. And are you low carb, are you keto, carnivore, vegetarian, vegan? What are you? Let me know. Christine Finnegan, this is on Facebook over here from Southport, England. It's 8 p.m. in your low carb. Line called, hello from Grey, Melbourne. Hello. And I know from last week that you're out of lockdown. I hope, enjoy your freedom. Jane Willis in Gloucestershire, England. Joelle Fry from London. And I only like the coffee cream, so I may just well ditch coffee. So now, okay, for who's commenting there on Instagram, I have my coffee. I will not give up my coffee. I love my coffee and my wine are my two things that I still love, but in moderation, and I know how to choose wisely. So if you like coffee, if you like the coffee creamer, that's the powder. Avoid that because if you look at the ingredients, I think the second ingredient is glucose syrup or glucose powder. I have creamy coffee, which is completely different. So I will make a long black or an Americano, and I'll top it up with hot water to keep it big, and then I'll put maybe I splash real whole full fat cream, so maybe 2 tablespoons. And so I get a big coffee for maybe 1 to 2 grams of carbs. And when I go out and I order my coffee, I do exactly the same. I say an Americano please, with a small pot of cream and a small pot of hot water. And as I drink, I top up with both, so I get 2 coffees for the price of one and 2 coffees for the price of 2 carbs. Hello from California. Also not giving up. No, you don't have to give up coffee. Honestly, people are giving up coffee, desserts, and wine. Mainly coffee and wine are the two deal breakers as to whether people actually want to start or contemplate going low carb or keto. And so you don't have to. They are deal breakers. I can show you better ways of choosing your coffee and wine and better ways of, living with what you need. There's great, I've got so many desserts everybody can have. Hello from California, Millbrook, USA. Love your accent. Oh, bless you, darling. So I don't have an accent. Of course I don't. It's absolutely normal. Um, but people do laugh at my accent. It really, really is. And they've got more people hopping in here on Facebook. Hi from Idaho, returning to low carb. It's 1:10 p.m. Carolyn McKenna, good morning. Suzanne, hello from Kentucky, USA. And coffee with almond milk. Is that okay? Absolutely. If you can't drink dairy and you have almond milk, the only caveat I will say with almond milk is always check the ingredients, because a lot of them contain thickeners, stabilizers, emulsifiers, and sugar. And it's the same if you have rice milk, or they're not really milks, they're almond juice and rice juice, but that's just my thing. And so yes, if you do want almond milk or rice milk, or what is some of the other kind of nut milks that people have, always become a label reading ninja and have a look and see what is in there and see what the carb value is, because the carb value may be, if you're drinking almond milk because you can't tolerate dairy, great, go for it, but just be aware of what the carb count is as well. Oh, and Sally here, good evening, it's 8 p.m. from California. Oh, it's lovely, it's just so lovely to see all you guys here. So the top 3 mistakes you're making in low carb and keto. We've covered the first one, which is tracking. Tracking is boring and dull, but you need to do it at the beginning so you know where your carbs are coming from and how to make better choices. Number 2 is setting the wrong macros. So let me know below, how many carbs a day do you limit? Or do you not limit and just think you are lower carb and that is still giving you results? So there's 3 levels that generally people go for. There is moderate low carb, which is below 100 grams of carbs per day. There is low carb below 50 grams of carbs per day. And then there is keto below 20 grams. These are all net carbs per day. Now, people think by going harder and faster, by going keto, they'll get better results, quicker results, and boom, that weight loss will just melt off them. That is true for a lot of people. But if you know that it is too restrictive for you, don't do it. Keto may not be for you. I always say do what works for you and what is sustainable. I don't want you to be keto and all of a sudden you're falling off every single day going, I was really good until 7 o'clock and then bam, all the snacks happened. Or I was really, really good until it got to the weekend and it was too restrictive. So if keto doesn't work for you, don't do keto. Do say just low carb, which is below 50 grams of carbs a day. And also, keto, people love or hate relationship with keto. Some people say they love it because the food is so, or what your choices are is so restrictive. Then they find that easy going, no, I can't have that, that's off plan, and they love it. Other people find it restrictive that they can't live it. So I always say, and people don't want to know this, they want to know, okay, Libby, how many do I have? And it really depends on you. If you're coming from a bad place where you're hooked on sugary drinks, you're hooked on candy, you're hooked on Doritos and burritos and, candy and chocolate and you name it, and Halloween is your best friend, we're going out trick-or-treating, just go to 100 grams of net carbs. Even that reduction, you will start to see sleep benefits, health benefits. Your clarity of mental thoughts is amazing. Your mood is lifted. Everything is amazing. But then you might think, okay, I can deal with 100 gram. This is exactly what I teach in the Quick Start and Ditch the Carbs Pro. This is what we go through in the 4-week program. we go stepwise. And if you go 100 grams, great. If you're then still having results, you think, actually, I can go a little bit lower now, and actually I feel better, go for 50 grams. And you also kind of play around with things. If weight loss is stopped, or you're not getting the clarity that you wanted, maybe, some people want to get really stable blood sugars, or they have different health concerns that they want to address, then you kind of play around with it. If you're not getting results, you might need to lower a bit. Or if you're getting a fix that you're not really, and the whole point of doing this is feeling amazing, then you may need to go up or down a little bit. So that's what I'm saying, is that if you set the wrong macros, if they're too high and you may not be getting results, if they're too low, but then you may be falling on and off the wagon. So let me know. Oh, someone said that that's me. I'm going to attend the class. Excellent. It's open at the moment. I've got there's the free site, which is ditchthecarbs.com, and then there's the Ditch the Carbs Pro site, which has got the 4-week program, and it's open again, and there's actually a flash sale until tomorrow. I think I'm turning it off. So if you ever want to join Ditch the Carbs Pro, now is the time to join. We do weekly lives, we do mini challenges. You kind of go hard and go fast for the 4-week program, and then you come and join the mini challenges. And next week we're doing a 0 carb and an egg fast challenge, and that's great. And what I love about the mini challenges are that it really keeps you from falling back into old habits. Or we work on things and go, say if we do a no snacking challenge, or a carnivore challenge, or the 0 carb challenge, we work out works for you, and some little aspect of the challenge you might go, that was my light bulb moment. And we've even got the hashtag light bulb moment in the pro group. And I absolutely love it to bits. So I'd love for you all to come and join me in Ditch the Carbs. So ditchthecarbspro.com, and you'll see there's a little join button. I get shaky from food sometimes. Okay, so have you allowed your blood sugars to go too low? Or are there certain foods that are suddenly making your blood sugars skyrocket? Just start by taking the bun off your burger and limit the carbs. Absolutely. That was a great comment coming through on Instagram. And if you're wondering why I'm looking at 2 cameras, it's because it's gone live in 2 places. And that's a great tip there. If you just want to start off easy, start by doing things, by reducing things. So if you go to a burger joint, start by removing the bun. You can ask for a lettuce burger, or sometimes a caveman burger, or a paleo burger, and they'll wrap it. If they don't do that, just ask for a burger, and instead of the fries, quite often they'll let you swap the fries for a side salad. And then what you can do is you can open the burger and plop it on top of the salad, and boom, you've got this sort of a lovely keto meal. And don't go for the fizzy sugary drinks, go for water, or maybe a diet drink. And I've done a whole live all about diet drinks another time. So let me know what you're watching. Oh, on Facebook here. Hello from Norway. Oh, wonderful, Eva. I don't think we've ever had anyone from Norway before. Keto 2 years, but keep falling off the wagon and can't seem to stay on track. Need to lose 20 kilos plus. I have so much pain in my joints. Any tips? Okay, Eva, I think keto is not for you. I think if you're trying to go keto and you keep on falling off the wagon, how about you just do moderate low carb? So if you do 50 grams, it may allow a few more things in that makes it sustainable for you. Because if you say that you can't stay on track, being too restrictive is probably not for you. So if you just do the 50, it might allow you to think, like, your day could look like, okay, you start the day with maybe scrambled eggs with some cheese in there, or maybe some avocado. Then your lunch could be leftovers from the night before. I love leftovers, love leftovers. Leftovers are king, that's our kind of saying. And then dinner could be like your cheeseburger casserole. It could be fathead pizza. It could be steak. My favourite is steak with blue cheese and a salad. That's my absolute favourite. It could be chicken stuffed with cream cheese. There's no deprivation in living low carb. And if you're below 50 grams or 50 grams of net carbs, you can then still afford maybe the odd snack in there. And that's a really good, nourishing, low carb, healthy fat, quality protein meal for you. But if you're doing keto and it's too restrictive and you keep on falling on and off, that may be what you need to do. And also maybe as you're coming into the festive period and the party festive period, it's really tricky to navigate. Friends, family, work colleagues, well-meaning people are trying to give you things. They go, oh, go on. And I always say, and this again is what we teach in Ditch the Carbs Pro, I always teach them, have your thing ready to say to people, look, that's very, very kind, but I've just found life is so much better without sugar and carbs. And I feel like I'm just on top of the world without them. Please respect that that's not what I'm going to eat anymore. And so there's lots of things, there's lots of kind of ways to navigate life that I try and teach you. Because it's one thing but starting low carb, like most people have found, it's another thing living this way. And I've been low carb now for 7, 8 years, I think, possibly. Excuse me. And my husband and my children, who came kicking and dragging all the way to the low carb table, but they are there. But I teach all of that as well. Hi from Brisbane. I'm trying to do 40 grams a day. Occasionally go over, and that's fine, Sheila. If that's Shelley, sorry, if that works for you. 25 grams net. Any higher, and I gain. That's and exactly right, Megan. If that's your carb tolerance level, that's perfect for you. Everyone will find where their carb tolerance is with their insulin resistance or their insulin sensitive. So that's a great point. Joelle says 2 rice cakes a day is too bad in low carb diet. Please, I would say yes. If you look at the carb content for 2 rice cakes, it depends. If they're those big rice cakes, they can be the same as like 2 pieces of bread, which is the equivalent of, say, 6 teaspoons of sugar. So yes, I would personally go off rice cakes. A lot of things, while you're still trying to lose weight or gain stable blood sugars, some things are not no forever, they're no for now. But rice cakes really don't give you any nutrition. I would rather spend my carbs on either nutrient-dense dairy, nuts, seeds, berries, maybe a low-carb cookie that's made with almond flour. There would be a lot of different ways to spend the carbs from those 2 rice cakes. There's a long. Okay, I was on keto for 2.5 years, and then completely slipped up in later pregnancy. My child is nearly 6 months old, and really want to get back to keto. Okay, Shula, you can do it, honey. You absolutely can, and you've got time before the end of the year. Don't think you wait till Monday morning. Don't think I'm going to wait till 2021, because we're all waiting for 2020 to leave our shores. It is the pits. So you can start today. You absolutely can. And if anyone wants to get, I'm sorry, I've got hair that's very humid today in New Zealand, and it really affects my hair with it. It goes frizzy and all over my face. There is in the Facebook live, there's a link above for a free 5-day meal plan. Go and grab that and start today. If you want to join the 4-week program, that is also starting. The doors are open. You can go to ditchthecarbspro.com. So there's the 2 ways there. Do you have any tips to get me back on track and saying goodbye to sugars and carbs? Okay, so if people have really got trouble getting back on track, I always say this again, I keep on going back to Ditch the Carbs Pro. I love being in there, and the Quick Start program. Go stepwise. I teach everyone my stepwise method. If you find it too much, too hard, don't do it. Just concentrate on one meal at a time. So can you concentrate just on, say, your breakfast, and think, right, from now on, I'm not going to from now on, no more sugary breakfast. So no more sugary granola, no more jam and toast and peanut butter and toast, and no more fruit yogurts. Think about your breakfast and just have eggs, just have leftovers. Leftovers are easy. Just have chaffles. Chaffles are the lifesaver that I love. They're cheesy waffles, and it literally takes you 30 seconds to make it and in a minute to cook it, and everyone's got time for that. There's so many different things you can have, and then think, okay, now I'm on top of breakfast. I'm not going back to sugary breakfast. Now I'll work on my lunch, and now I'll work on my dinner, and now I'll work on my snacks. So just do it that way, and just go slowly. Use it stepwise. Joelle, thank you. That's lovely. Carolyn is just taking one day at a time. Yep, absolutely. And this is a golden nugget, Carolyn. I'm taking one day at a time. Too much to think that it's forever. Scary. But deep down, I think there is no going back. Absolutely. And that's what the food manufacturers hate about everyone who goes low carb and sugar free. Once you see low carb, once you understand how amazing it is, there is no going back. It's not like, and I've done it for years. I've done it for decades. Calorie counting, low fat, counting points, colors. And then you go, oh, it's too hard, and you don't do it. Once you feel the benefits and how amazing it feels to be low carb and keto and sugar-free, grain-free, everything else, it is daunting at the beginning, but just do it stepwise, one meal at a time. But once you feel this way, you genuinely, and that's why it's so sustainable, because you don't want to go back to how you were. You don't want to go back to that bread and that pasta and the stodgy kind of, look at my face, it's kind of screwing up as soon as I think about carbs. So it really won't. Oh, bless you. Oh, and Glenda, good question. What do you think about drinking ketones? Now, we had a very similar question last week, and what I said was, there is a place for it only when there is a neurological need. So for people who are trying to lose weight, no, completely stay away from ketones. All that's doing is you're drinking it so you can test, whether you test your bloods, whether you test your urine, you can test positive for ketones, but we want to be in nutritional ketosis. And by doing that, you lower your carbs, you have quality fat, quality protein, you burn through your glycogen, then you burn your body fat. So you don't want to drink your ketones, you want to be in nutritional ketosis. The only place that for drinking ketones is, like I say, for neurological conditions where people want to have ketones to fuel the brain. So that could be epilepsy, it could be Alzheimer's, could be a lot of different conditions, but you can't get into nutritional ketosis by yourself. And then we've got to crack on to question number 3. There we go. Tips for getting a teen to clean up her diet and exercise. Show by example. That's all I can do. Is I've got 3 children, and the boys will want to do exercise. My daughter will want to be active, but they don't really want to go and do a class. They don't want to go to the gym, although they do go to the gym occasionally. Be active, walk places and say, okay, let's just walk down to the grocery store rather than driving, or the old thing of getting off the bus or the train and stop earlier, or even going shopping around the mall for a few hours. That really works up the steps. Have fun rather than exercise. And we do activity challenges and pro as well. There's a whole long done thing. I'm on day 4 of keto. Excellent. Right here. Now, back to the topic. I do get distracted with all these questions coming in. The top 3 mistakes you're making when starting low carb and keto is, number 1, not tracking and knowing where your carbs are coming from. Number 2, setting the wrong macros, either too high and it won't work. Number 2, low and it's too restrictive, you keep on falling off. And number 3, it's too many snacks. If you're always snacking, you're having your 3 meals, you're snacking in between, you never get a chance for your blood sugars to fall within the normal range and for you to start burning all your stored glycogen in your body. Then you kick into fat burning mode. If you keep on snacking, all you're doing is you're topping up the tank all the time, and we don't want that. So snacking and too often, yes, have it at the beginning, because I can't remember who said it up below. Said Carolyn, that's right, who it was, said it too much, it's daunting. So at the beginning, you will want to swap your high carb snacks for lower carb snacks, but as time goes on, you get in control of your appetite rather than your appetite controlling you. Then you can actually start to reduce those snacks. So I always say replace then remove. So you replace the high carb snacks for low carb snacks and keto snacks, then you slowly remove them. Again, it's the whole stepwise that I teach in the Quick Start program. Like I say, it's open and there's a flash sale until Saturday. I think it's Saturday. I keep on saying I think it is Saturday. I'm turning it off. So I'd love to have you join us there. It's absolutely wonderful. So not tracking, setting the wrong macros, and snacking too often. Who else is doing here? Go Coco. Someone else is saying, oh, hi from Madrid. That's lovely to see. And hello to everyone on Instagram. Anyone on Instagram, go into my profile link. I wish Instagram gave you profile more clickable links. They don't. They give you one measly link. So go into the Ditch the Carbs, my profile, click on my link, and it will take you onto the website. There's a free meal plan there. There's all the links to the recipes you see in Instagram and all the things that you see me making in my kitchen. And then for Facebook, there's a link above where you can go and get my 5-day meal plan and where you can join. It's lovely to have everybody here. Here we go. And Kane is back on keto after a terrible last 2 years with poor health, losing weight, feeling so much better. Bring on 2021 Christchurch. Excellent. Please no earthquakes. Oh, Kane, absolutely. And for anyone who doesn't know, in the rest of the world, Christchurch had an awful, awful earthquake many years ago, and my heart bleeds for everyone down there. So yes, Kane. And yes, I did hear you had another earthquake this morning. So big hugs to you. So yes, bring on 2021, because 2020 has been the pits. And who is going to celebrate that 2020 is gone and we are kicking 2020 back out? And don't think, everyone always starts New Year's resolutions. Don't do New Year's resolutions. Start today. Don't wait until 2021 to start low carb and keto. You can start now, even if you start ramping down your carbs, ready for next year. But I'd love you to join us in the Quick Start 4-week program. It's absolutely delicious. I love having everyone in there, seeing the results you guys get. It's absolutely brilliant. So yes, bring on 2021. It's going to, well, it has to be better, because this year I don't think it could have got any worse. And the good thing is about living low carb and keto, you no longer go back to, when you may have once relied on maybe a packet of Doritos to get you through the day, or you may have relied on a pack of candy and chocolate sitting next to you while you're watching Netflix. Those days are gone, because you are in control. There's not much we can control about in life, but now you can control certain things. Oh, and Laura said same here. Kathleen, hi from US, just starting back. Hubby doing shopping, so have to educate him. Excellent, Kathleen. Yes, because trying to drag reluctant husbands to low carb and keto sometimes can be a challenge. I think I always say I reckon it took me 3 to 6 months for me to become fully low carb, and I reckon it probably took us an entire year as a family, because trying to change everyone's eating habits, everyone's snacking habits, what we ate, how often we ate, really was, it was just getting the new you and the new go-to and the new meals and figuring out what people liked and what they didn't like, and we kind of turned it into a wee game. So yeah, it is hard to get the husband involved, it really is. Denise said, been so trying with keto, but been stuck on 81 kilo for the last 2 months. Okay, so Denise, at least you have plateaued, but at least low carb is sustainable for you. So all you've hit is you've hit a weight loss plateau, and you're just stabilized. That's all it is. So if you want to crank things up in a notch, either come and join us in Ditch the Carbs Pro. Next week we've got our 0 carb and egg fast challenge. I'd love you to join you there. But also you can do a no snacking challenge. Stop the snacking for maybe a couple of weeks and see how that helps. Because if you're insulin resistant, no matter how little you're eating, if your insulin is still high and you haven't healed that yet, you're never going to be going into fat burning mode. So try and cut out the snacks. Try and have good, lovely, beautiful, stable blood sugars. Try and space out your eating window and have a small eating window but a larger not eating window. So maybe adding some fasting in there as well. So there's a lot of things we can work on there. And hi from Panama. Don't jinx us. Yeah. Is that for 2021? I hope not. Oh no, I should have one finger crossed, shouldn't I? Yes, no, it has got to be better. We can only control what we do, and we can only control what we eat, because everything else is taken out of our hands. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. It's been wonderful to have you all here. And like I say, if you want to start, the 4-week Quick Start program is open. There's a flash sale on today and tomorrow. And there's also a free, and I'll give that to you anyway, that's in the link above in Facebook, and it's in my profile link in Instagram. So now I've got to figure out how to turn all of these off without looking like an idiot and a boomer looking at the wrong cameras. So have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye-bye.